Well, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Coming to you from Vermont. Today is a focus on breath. It's like a breath sandwich. Breath practice, some asana, the poses, and followed by more breath practice. And the reason for that is to continue this theme I've had over the past few weeks of transition. For those of you in the States, in and around the weeks of fall back with the clocks, or if you're experiencing, a couple week hangover from that, from Europe, the UK, this is what the practice is all about today: is finding our way to find the physical practice that suits us. And transition can be hard. So, with the intention of easing you into transition, thank you for the sound and audio check. My name is Karen, Salt and Sand Studios. This is Yoga Intermissions. Try this at home. We're together for 50 minutes. We will, as I mentioned, focus on the breath today, and we'll power up a bit through our sun salutation. So we'll take quite a few sun A's and we'll work into some sun B's, which include a chair pose at the beginning and then moving into warrior one. So we're going to get started in a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. I like to sit on a cushion and shift my sits bones forward to the edge of that cushion. It softens the knees a little bit. If another posture works better for you, go ahead and take that. We want to ensure we're extending the spine, drawing the tailbone down, collarbones a little wide, and the chin a little bit tucked. If you like, you're welcome to close the eyes, and the hands can rest wherever it feels okay. We're actually going to use the hands in our traditional Tibetan breath, which is our first pranayama, and our second will be breath work associated with visualization. We'll go ahead and start closing the eyes or lowering them and checking that the lips are very slightly parted, not like a goldfish in a goldfish bowl, but maybe just a little bit parted. And we'll notice the breath. That's the first part. Just exploring by observing, becoming aware of the in and the out, and how it changes the shape of your body without even changing what the breath is doing. Maybe you can feel, as the air comes out of your nose, a bit of moisture and warmth on your upper lip. Very different from the cool air that might be coming into the nose. And we notice as the breath comes in what it does to the belly and the chest, and maybe we breathe a little bit deeper. And as we exhale, the chest and the belly soften. Maybe there's even a point at which you squeeze the belly a little bit to release more air from the lungs. As you breathe down, notice the shoulders. See if they can draw backward and drop a little heavier downward. In our traditional 3-part Tibetan breath, we'll take the first 2 fingers of the right hand and place them between and above the eyebrows. Rest the ring finger, or the 4th finger, as it were, 3rd finger, as it were, on your left nostril, and your thumb rests on the right. We block the right and breathe in deeply through the left. Block left, open the right and breathe out. Take that again, block right, release the left, inhale. Block left with a little pause, open up the right and breathe out. Again, block right, release left, inhale. Block the left, open the right, exhale. Block both nostrils just for a moment. Then release the right, inhale. Block right, exhale left. Block left, Inhale right. Block right. Exhale left. Block left. Open right. Inhale. Block right. Open left. Breathe out. Block both nostrils just for a moment. And drop your right hand. Inhale. Teeny pause at the top. Drop your shoulders and breathe out through the nose. Loosen the jaw. Inhale. Little pause at the top. Exhale through the nostrils. A little retention at the bottom, and we'll take one more round. Breath in. Hold it. And exhale. We close out with a huge breath in. Open the jaw and sigh it away. Breathe gently and effortlessly once again through the nose. And take inventory. What feels different? Does anything feel different? Or maybe the experience with what's going on in your head is different. Maybe the heart feels softer, but find your observational qualities and apply them here. We'll work a visualization. Bring to mind something that's not serving you right now. Maybe it's a thought, a persistent nagging in your head. Maybe it's some action you're taking or some habit you have. And give it a color. Whatever color that is becomes the color of your exhale. So our motivation here is to breathe out that which no longer serves us and breathe in pure light. And if you would like, on the breath in, you can also imagine that there is a white or a pink or a yellow tinge, maybe even light green, to your in-breath. And the color of that thing you pictured, you brought to mind, a word, a habit, a person that's not serving you well now. And that color is the breath out. I breathe in, positive. I breathe out, release. Breathing in, positive, light. Breathing out, let go. Inhale, light. Exhale, release. Continue with your cadence. And I'll let you know when we will conclude. You might deepen your breath in and elongate your breath out. Calmly breathing in and gently releasing. One more full cycle of breath, and then we'll take a cleansing breath. Generous breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Press the palms together at your heart and consider here either your intention or maybe your motivation for coming to your mat. We'll continue to ease into the asana practice with some seated postures first, but we'll celebrate the power of the practice to bring us together, to aid us in the practice of release, of letting go, to aid us in the practice of transition. We'll do so using the sound of Om. If you prefer not to chant, no biggie. It's just yoga. It's just chanting. You can always imagine the letters of O and M, or the syllables O, A, are riding out on your exhale, out your mouth. Breathe in as fully and completely as you can. We're going to take our first posture from the book of Yawning Yoga, which is butterflies. We're going to take the soles of the feet together. Maybe you stay on your cushion or your prop. Maybe you don't. We're going to drop the knees outward, sit up nice and tall. The hands can come to the shins or the knees or the ankles. Sit up as tall as you can. Collarbones get nice and wide. You can smile because we're going to do butterfly, and so many of us love them. But the belly might have habituated itself just to kind of drop forward. You're going to draw the tailbone down and the pelvis forward. And now slowly we're going to lift the knees inward toward one another. Then we're going to open them up, dropping them out right and left. Maybe the elbows can help. Draw the knees in on an exhale. Draw the knees out and down on an inhale. Breathe out, knees up. Breathe in, knees down. Pause here. Take the hands and place the palms underneath or outside your knees. And slowly, with the hands helping, draw the soles of the feet all the way to the earth. Bring a little space between the feet. And wrap your arms around your shins. A little self-love, a little hug. Drop your head. Draw the belly in and up and the tailbone down, starting to stretch the spine. Draw the shoulders over the hips. Now cross your ankles in the way you don't normally do. So if you normally put the left leg in front, put the left leg behind. We're going to reach the arms to the sides and stay here for a breath out. Spreading your wings, drawing the belly in. Inhale, arms float overhead. And then let the fingers intertwine here. Draw the elbows wide and the hands cup the back of the head, just at the occipital ridge, that sort of bulbous part. And on an exhale, draw the elbows toward one another. Scoop your belly in, round your spine, drop your head. Inhale, lift up, open the elbows wide. Exhale, a tilt over to the left. Lift the heart. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, a tilt over to the left. Inhale, rise up. Drop your left hand to the earth and reach the right arm high. Exhale, a deeper tilt over to the left. Lift your heart. Send your sitting bones to the earth. Draw the belly in. Open up. Imagine there's sort of a scooping out of the armpit on the right side. And lift up both arms high. Palms pressed together. Elbows bend till the fingers come to the nape of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Forearms are like pillows and the head wants to rest back in them. Lift your heart all the way from your tailbone. Right hand down, left arm high. And a deeper tilt over to the right. Lift up, left arm high, and then drop that hand by your sides. And crawl your fingers left and right, so away from your seat. And take a nice, slow look over the left shoulder. Drop your chin toward the left armpit. Sweep the left hand again behind your head, and without pushing or pressing, just using gravity and the weight of your hand, we start to open up the right side of the neck a little bit more. And you have a couple of options here. You might crawl the right hand farther away from you for a bigger stretch. Or maybe you just like a little more love and you can take the right hand to your neck or to the top of your shoulder and give yourself a massage from the top of the shoulder all the way up the right side of the neck to behind the ear. That right hand drops to the ground. Cousin, it crawls out to that right. We release the left hand to the earth again and drop the chin to the chest. Lift the chin so it's parallel to the earth. Reach the hands away from you. And take a long, slow look over the right shoulder this time. Going as far as you can, we use the breath. And the chin drops toward the armpit on the same side. Right hand reaches up, palm behind the head. Gravity and the weight of the hand. Draw the left side of the neck more open, and maybe again you reach the left hand farther away from you, or perhaps you use that hand to massage from the top of the shoulder all the way up the neck to behind the ear, just finding a little bit of love. It feels pretty good. I mean, maybe it's not as good as someone giving you a massage, but it is someone giving you a massage. It's yourself. Drop the left hand. Drop the right hand. Drop the chin. Lift the chin parallel to the earth. Beautiful. We're going to find our way into a child's pose. I'm going to start working our way into some movement, some fluidity, some mobility, working with the belly, and then working with a bit of fire. In your child's pose, knees nice and wide, big toes touch, forehead rests on something. Imagine that the sitting bones are magnetically attracted to your heels. That might mean placing something under the forehead, because otherwise the forehead doesn't reach. And it should be sitting downward. With a little rock left and right, you might bring back to mind your intention or your motivation or that sense of release and relief right in between the eyes, third eye center. Going to take a little twist, so lift the head a little bit and walk the left hand closer to your shoulder. So maybe it's like as if you're bringing your forearm to the mat, but you're going to lift your forearm up. Take the right hand and thread it underneath the left. You don't have to go deep. It's kind of like a tabletop twist, but you're in a child's. Starting to open up the space between the shoulders, opening up the right shoulder blade and all those muscles. I'm feeling a bit in my very tight tricep. And then we'll unravel from this. Bring the right hand parallel to the left and sweep the left arm underneath the right, finding your little twist on this side. And we'll unravel from this, coming into a tabletop. Starting to work the belly with a little fire. We press the tops of the feet into the earth. And then a cat shape. And a cow shape. Perhaps observing some of the individual muscles and tendons and ligaments as they work, maybe the joints, taking an inventory of the body. And we come to a neutral spine. We'll float the left leg behind us, but keep the ball of the foot on the mat. Stretch out the calf, the spaces between the toes. And the next time the shoulders come over the wrist, we'll float the left leg off the mat, working to keep the hips square. Exhale, knee to nose. See if you can keep both arms straight. Inhale, extend that leg. Keep the belly strong. Exhale, draw the knee toward the left elbow. Maybe it taps above, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, extend. And sweep the leg out to the left, keeping it off the ground. Pause here, 3, 2, see if you can lift it a little bit more, and then sweep it all the way over the right calf. So now the shoelace side of the left foot is outside the right side of your mat. The front of your left hip glides toward your right heel. So it's not a pigeon. You can come to your forearms. We're opening up the right glutes here. Maybe you tuck the left toes under, float the knee off the mat, and find a little forward and backward here. Working those glutes on the right side. We return to a 3-legged table. Isn't it a 3-legged stool? Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. And drop the knee to the earth. My body's calling for a little side to side movement. Take whatever your body calls for. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's hip circles. Maybe it's more cat-cows. I'll take 3 or so of those. And we find ourselves back in a tabletop, navel in and up, a little space between the shoulder blades. Right leg long, ball of the foot on the mat, rock forward and backward, opening up the whole back of that calf, maybe the Achilles. And you feel the glutes starting to work, sole of the foot, shoulders over the wrists, and the leg flows from the mat. A knee to nose as you breathe out. Inhale, extend the leg. Knee above the right elbow, it might not touch. Lengthen out, breath in. Exhale, leg sweeps out to the right. We work as hard as we can, using the glutes and the thigh to keep that foot off the ground and over toward the right. The belly helps out. Lift it a little bit more, sweep it behind you. And then all the way over the left calf until you can find the floor with the top of the right foot. You glide the foot and the leg long to the left as the bony right hip comes to the left heel. Draw to your forearms. Maybe a tuck of those right toes to float the knee off the mat. And a rocking forward and backward can open up those left glute muscles even more. Return to a 3-legged table. Draw your knee to your nose. And we extend one more time to draw the right knee back to the mat. Any interstitial movement the body calls for or desires or you discover, take that here. Walk the hands forward just a couple of inches. Draw the belly in and the tailbone down. Tuck your toes. I'm going to float the knees off the mat just a teeny tiny bit before we lift the hips high to a downward dog. Maybe pedaling in and out feels really good here. The belly draws in and up. The gaze is between the knees. The hands as if you're opening up some large pickle jars. And lift up to the tippy toes. Stay there as you press the chest toward the thighs, breath out. Draw the heels over toward the right. Maybe you have a peek under the right arm to square your chest a little bit more and create more balance of the weight left and right. Rise back to the tiptoes, press the chest toward the thighs, breath out, inhale, and the heels drop to the left. Tippy toes once again, knees bend a lot, look past your hands and make your way to them, a forward fold at the front of your mat. Now, if you are looking at my feet and you can tell my left foot's a little behind my right, that's very purposeful due to my left SI joint, but your toes may be parallel is the goal. If your hips feel good that way, head drops, ragdoll. Release the hands to the earth, a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way to standing. Arms will lift high. Hands to your heart, Samasthihi. Hands drop by your sides. A movement left and right, allowing the arms to kind of flop left and right. Maybe they hit your body, not hard. And then we pause in mountain pose. Feeling strong, steady, sturdy, grounded to the earth in this autumn weather. Allowing the energy from the earth to lift up the inner arches of the feet. We feel that energy rise up the inseam to square the hips, stacking them over the knees. The shoulders stack over the hips. The chin tucks a little bit. Inhale, float the arms high. Exhale, sunsets, fold over your legs. This is our sun salutation. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Float to standing, lifting the arms overhead. Exhale, forward, hands through the heart, soften your knees. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise all the way to standing. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. We're going to add a little movement to the legs here. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Left foot to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. We're just going to stay here for a twist. Left hand down, right arm high. Or if the shoulders don't work that way, you might draw the heel of the right hand to the low back. Imagine the heart's reaching forward on the breath in, all the way from that left heel. And you twist the navel around the spine on your breath out. The right hand to the earth. Slowly, exaggeratedly draw the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, float to standing. Exhale, Samasthihi. Mountain pose. Lift the arms toward the sky. Extend the spine. Extend the torso. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Halfway lift. Long, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot to the back of the mat. Adjust as you need to get really long here and peel the belly energy away from the thigh. Right hand down, left arm high. Your twist. Next breath out, hand to the earth. Exaggeratedly place the right foot to meet the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. This time we're going to take more movement into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands plant, left foot to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge as our in between. And we drop the left knee to the earth. Untuck your toes. Rise up, hands by your sides. The shoulders stacked over the hips. Anjaneyasana, slightly modified. Find your balance. Really work the shoelace side of the left foot into the earth and the heel of the front foot into the earth to protect your low spine. Engage the belly in and up. With the hands down by the sides, for some, it's easier to start to feel the shoulder blades draw in together to find a back bend. The collarbones smile really wide. And then if it feels okay, maybe the arms float outward first. And then the shoulders rotate as you reach the arms overhead, spinning the pinkies toward one another. Finding your beautiful back bend, beautiful. Exhale, hands frame your front foot for a half split Hanumanasana. That right foot might scoot forward to extend the leg and allow for the left hip to be directly over the left knee. We peel the right toes away from the mat. And imagine that you could sort of drag the mat toward your, drag the front of the mat toward the back of the mat with your right heel. Long spine is our intent as we reach the heart forward of the foot. Sole of the right foot plants. Hands plant inside the right foot. Tuck the back toes under. As you lift the left knee off the mat, start to spin toward the long edge until you're actually facing the long edge of the mat. Toes in, heels out. Nice wide-legged forward fold. Fingertips onto the earth under your shoulders. Lift halfway up. Extend your spine and now draw the belly in. It's as if the sitting bones are reaching behind you and the crown of the head in front of you. So you have a longer neck than maybe you might if you're standing. Slowly exhale and fold. Spin the fingers to the opposite side of the mat. Walk them between your feet. And even though I'm on camera, I'm going to work to the back of the mat. So hands underneath your shoulders again. Spin toward the back of your mat. So you're bringing the left foot now, pointing toward the back of the mat. You're on the ball of the right foot. We'll drop the right knee to the earth and untuck the toes. Heel toe the left foot out to the left. And open it up like a book so you're coming to the outer edge of that foot. You might need to extend your back knee a little bit more. And maybe this is where you stay in a lizard, softening into the left knee, sending the pelvis forward, or maybe you have more space to work with and you can crawl the hands forward until the forearms meet the mat. You could also place a block or a prop. But imagine that the hips are shifting forward rather than downward. The breath, maybe the beautiful light breath of light, is working its way into your left hip. So maybe you come back to that breath work of something that doesn't serve you, and maybe the something that doesn't serve you is holding on here, holding on at the hip, holding on at the pelvis. And what serves you is this sense of a beautiful, warm, comforting light. Hands plant under your shoulders. Left foot comes back to the mat. Right toes tucked to lift the hips. We crawl to the long edge of the mat. And then we find that on the other side. Crawling back toward the front. Point the right toes forward. And come to your back knee. Nice long stance here as we shift the right foot out to the right. I'm going to adjust my back knee again. Peel the right foot open like a book. And then maybe baby, walk the hands forward. I think I need a prop this time for our lizard on this side. Gently, kindly, the hands return to the mat, as does the sole of the right foot. Back toes tuck, and we step forward with the left foot outside the left hand. Head drops. Press the sitting bones toward the sky. Wrap the hands behind the calves. Lift up halfway. Draw the shoulders toward the hips. Sitting bones behind, belly in and up, and then fold, letting the stability of the hands on the calves help you out. Heel toe the feet toward one another. See if you can keep your hands on your calves. The feet come bony hip width distance. And fold again. Let that head hang heavy. Let your head hang heavy. Release the hands to the earth. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up to standing. Sunrise. Allow the sun to set. Halfway lift. Forward fold the right foot to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge for a moment to find the stance. Back knee drops. Toes untuck. Lift the shoulders over the hips, hands by your sides. Modified Untitled. Find your place. If you feel wobbly, that's totally fine. But you can minimize that by moving the left foot out to the left. The top of the back foot is pressing energy into the earth. The heel of the front foot pressing energy into the earth, but also kind of dragging backward a little bit with the energy. Pelvis points forward. Arms stay by your sides for a moment as you work the collarbones open and the shoulder blades toward one another. Arms reach out to the sides. Breathe out here. Inhale, overhead. Shoulders rotate so the pinkies spin toward each other. Exhale, hands around your front foot for your half split or a Hanumanasana. I'm going to move into Sun Salutation B. The sole of the left foot to the mat. Back toes tuck under. We step forward for a fold at the front of the mat. And lift the shoulders over the hips. Arms float high. Exhale for chair pose, sitting into chair. We'll move into a twist first. Left arm forward, right arm behind, east-west. Getting super long from the center of the chest out to the fingertips. And keeping the hips square. We come back to center, arms overhead, and then twist to the other side. It's a little bit of a modified Sun B. Draw forward, arms overhead, sink deeper into your chair, rise up to the balls of the feet. Sink deeper into your chair, stay there, draw the heels down. Inhale, lift up, stand tall. Exhale for your fold. Half lift, long spine. Exhale, hands plant. You can step back into your plank and go right to down dog. Or maybe you decide to take a chaturanga or modify with a back bend, finding your vinyasa and moving into down dog. From down dog, right leg floats off the mat nice and high. And we step the foot inside the right hand, creating a warrior one shape. Back heel down, Arms up overhead. Take a big breath in, open the heart. Exhale, hands plant. Step back for your high plank. Go right to down dog or through your vinyasa. Left leg floats. Warrior one. Hands plant. High plank. Knees drop. Sit back on your heels. We're going to take a little couple of back bends. And we'll move back to our seats and into our final meditation posture. After which you're welcome to come to Shavasana. So here on your heels for a moment, maybe working your quads a little stretchier. Mine are a little tight today. I'm going to kneel up. Bring the soles of the tops of the feet to the mat, or if you feel sturdier, you can tuck your toes. Heels of the hands to your low back. So modified camel. Press the flesh downward with the hands, the hips forward. Squeeze the pelvis forward, then lengthen the whole torso. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. And take that again. Flesh down, hips forward, long torso, shoulder blades fall in love, heart lifts, maybe the head drops. Shoulders stack over the hips, untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. For our final back bend, you're welcome to bring the feet a little apart, your choice, but the knees stay together. You can take exactly what we just did if that feels right for you. You can move into a full camel if you have that. I'm going to guide us to a different back bend by bringing the hands either to the feet or outside or behind the feet. But similar approach. Hips lift forward, torso lengthens, shoulder blades draw together, heart lifts, head drops. Imagine the fleshy part moving downward as you lift the hips away from the heels. Lengthen the torso. Shoulder blades connect practically behind you. Heart lifts, head drops. And maybe one more time. Maybe this time the glutes are really lifted off the heels. Press the pelvis forward, extend that torso. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart, drop the head again. We breathe here for 5. And slowly the hips come to the earth. Gather the belly in. Lift the shoulders over the hips. We'll take a little twist over to the right. And the left. Let's do our breath work from a Shavasana position. So if that's seated for you, that's great. You might come to your back, or you might bring your legs up an actual wall. An actual wall. I'm going to find my cushion to guide, but you are welcome to be on your back. We're going to go ahead and take the same visualization that we did at the beginning of practice. It is your choice to bring to mind something different that doesn't serve you, whether that's a person, a habit, a commitment, or a behavior or an attitude. We're not judgy about it at all. It just is a thing, whatever that thing is, that doesn't work for you. Either maybe it never did, or maybe it just doesn't work for you now. Give that thing, whatever it is, a color. And imagine that your exhale takes on that color. And we soften into the breath. Now we imagine that the breath in is a breath in of positive, warming, beautiful, magical light. Maybe it's white or golden, or it's compassionate with the color green. Whatever works for you in support of this sense of positive energy, of healing energy. Add that to your inhale. Breathing in, I breathe in light. Breathing out, I release what no longer serves me. I breathe in positive, healing light. I let go, breathing out. Positive energy, and out with a release. Follow this breath, follow your cadence. Use this practice without analyzing, judging, thinking. You're lying down. The shoulder blades and the hips and the heels are heavy. And if you're in legs up the wall, the shoulders and the hips are heavy, and the legs sink down into your hips. If you're seated, the sitting bones, the knees, and the ankles are heavy. The collarbones a little wide. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you're lying down or legs are up the wall, you can bend your knees and hug them into your chest. If you're seated, you're also welcome to bend the knees into the chest and wrap your arms around them for a nice little hug. And if you're on your back, after a little rock left and right, come on over to one side. And we'll meet together in a seat. Legs crossed or stacked in some way, or half lotus or full lotus if you have it. But checking if we have habituated and seeing if we can undo that. Starting to create new neural pathways for ourselves. Once again, we'll bring the first two fingers between the eyebrows and rest the pinky finger on the left nostril and the thumb on the right. Block the right, breathe in left. Block left, breathe out right. Inhale right this time. Breathe out left. Inhale left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Exhale left. One more round in left. Out right. In through the right. Breathe out left. Hands drop into your lap and a breath in through both nostrils. And out the mouth. Palms pressed together at your heart as if they found their home there. Chin drops back, the neck long. We honor the practice that brings us together, the transitions that are offered to us, and the power of the practice to ease our transitions by using an Om. The Om also shares the merit of this practice, the gift of the practice, out with all of those in need. Long, super breath in for Om. Thumb knuckles connect right at the center forehead. May all beings be calm. May they release what they do not need. May they be resilient. May they transition with ease. Namaste. Wishing you a terrific day or evening whenever you're practicing. Wishing you ease and joy. It's great to have you here. My name is Karen, Salt and Sand Studios. If you're ever in Vermont, drop by. You can register for a class. We are doing indoors as well as electronic over the interwebs. And if you have funding, feel free to donate via our website, but also we're here for you if you need it and you can't afford it. I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much.